Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Thursday morning. It's now the 22nd day of August, 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And outside the home weather office, we have nothing but blue sky. It's another comfortable morning. Today, temperatures will begin to trend lower. It'll also turn breezy, and we are still looking at chances of rain for parts of the state as we head into especially Friday night and very early Saturday morning. So we'll talk more about that, where and when we might see some rain, as well as this cool down and then eventual warm up that we're going to see. So let's get right to it this morning. Here's how it looks on the satellite. We have nice clear skies as the sun comes up. There is nice deep marine layer along the coast. And to the north, there's this little feature here. This is the beginning of that trough that we'll be looking at, dropping our way. It has limited moisture with it. And of course, during the winter time, when we get something like that, we start looking at things like precipitable water, how much water is with this to perhaps squeeze out in terms of rain. And being August, this is very limited in terms of how much water it has with it. They are going to be getting some nice rain in Washington and Oregon, and we will get some rain down in the northern part of the state. But this really isn't going to be all that extensive, with the exception of a couple of spots that I'll show you here in just a second. But as this little trough drops our way, temperatures will be dropping. Yesterday we made the low 90s. Today we'll stay in the 80s, and tomorrow 70s for daytime highs. And as I said, we'll also turn somewhat breezy. Here's the way that looks on the 500 millibar chart this morning. So here is that low, and you just saw that area of cloud cover associated with that little comma-shaped cloud. So we'll go back to that. So this, and you can see the circulation around that, that is this at the 18,000 foot level, roughly. And as we go through the next 12 hours, 24 hours, you can see that low drops our way and goes into the northern part of the state, but even influences the weather even to Southern California, bringing cooler temperatures statewide and more of a breeze. The big high, usually associated with the heat, is well off to the east, so this is much cooler weather. As I said, for Friday, daytime highs in the 70s, when the average daytime high is around 92. That'll modify somewhat during the day on Saturday, because by Saturday that trough begins to lift out and we'll get actually into a drying north flow. And with that, then the ridge comes back. So especially by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week, we'll have enough of a ridge to send temperatures back up to around 100 degrees. But nothing too long lasting, as there should be another weak trough behind that to bring temperatures down. But yes, we are going to go from temperatures in the 70s on Friday to over 100 degrees again, likely by the time we get to next Tuesday, maybe even as early as Monday. As I mentioned earlier, we're also going to see some wind pick up later on today. This is this morning onshore flow. But let's go ahead a couple more frames. That's the 8 o'clock look. This is the 2 o'clock look. Getting windy in the Sierra, the eastern part of the Sierra, getting windy through the Delta and up through Sacramento County and all the way up toward Marysville and points north. Not quite as breezy in areas south of Stanislaus County, but still pretty good wind. These are sustained winds that are over 20 miles an hour. So a gusty day in the Sierra. If you're lucky enough to be perhaps boating on Lake Tahoe later on today, it's going to turn gusty this afternoon. So keep that in mind if you're planning on doing that. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 5 o'clock, the winds pick up even a little bit more, especially up on the ridge of the Sierra. Sustained winds up over 30, gusty around Lake Tahoe, and for those of you in areas like Dayton Valley, Carson City, and Reno, yeah, it's going to be a windy afternoon, but also windy in areas like Solano County and Sacramento, and also turning somewhat gusty on the east side of the valley. Places like Roseville and Rockland will turn somewhat gusty this afternoon as that trough begins to move in. That wind diminishes a little bit during the overnight and then during the day tomorrow. This is tomorrow afternoon. Windy in the Sierra, but not as windy. We'll still keep that southwesterly wind in the Sacramento area tomorrow, but the gustiest winds will be tonight. Tomorrow we have a pretty good onshore breeze right here to go along with those cooler temperatures. So we've been talking about the last couple of days. We will be seeing those cooler temperatures, and especially for your Friday evening plans. All right, what about rain? All right, I got to talk about this for a second. Because yes, there are going to be some spots that do see some rain. And some areas may see a sprinkle. Other areas in part of the state that I'll show you in a little bit may see more than a quarter of an inch of rain. But what really annoys me, and this is the editorial part of my morning, is that yesterday there was a headline from a usually respectable organization over in the Bay Area. And their headline about this was snow. I mean, that's clickbait if I've ever seen it. And it just so annoys me that when somebody does something like that, just because they know people will click on it. You don't have to do that. It's going to rain. Yes, there could be a mixture of some snow at 10,000 feet or whatever, but that's not your headline. Anyway, I'll get back to the weather. Get off my soapbox. So yeah, my word for the day is don't fall for clickbait when you see it online. All right, this is Friday morning. A couple of showers to the north. And then as we head into the afternoon, this is actually the evening, 8 o'clock in the evening, we'll have some rain into the Shasta area, maybe some light rain around Redding, maybe as far south as Ukiah, there could be some light rain. And as we head into the evening, the overnight hours, so this is, I've got precipitation type on this. This is 2 a.m. and you can see where we're seeing some rain. And you see this little spot right here? Yeah, that's the model picking up a chance of snow. But again, that's not your headline. And then as we head into Saturday, everything decreases, moves to the east, and we get back to clearing. But you can also see the pretty strong onshore gradient right in here as we get into this afternoon, helping to bring in that cooler air. And also there's been a lot of talk about thunderstorms and what this may mean for the park fire. And I know the Weather Service did put up a flash flood watch for the areas around the burn scar. But the precipitation amounts just aren't looking all that great in areas around the burn scar. This is total precip accumulation. And there are some areas up around the Boise fire that could see maybe an inch of rain, these areas highlighted in yellow. But down around the Boise fire, I'd be surprised if we saw more than 1/4 of an inch of rain, and certainly not down toward the Chico area, the Bidwell Park area where we saw the fire originate. I just don't see enough rain happening there. But maybe you go farther up toward the areas along Highway 36 may see enough rain to cause some issues there. But I think that flash flood watch to me seems a little bit overdone, but I think they're better safe than sorry. That was from the NAM. This is the way the GFS shows it. The GFS is even a little bit lighter on the rain. This is once again 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. This model not showing anything in the way of snow. So yeah, if you fell for the clickbait yesterday about snow in the Sierra, I'm sorry. And then, so that's it. And the GFS is even less impressive with the rain totals. Let me switch over to how much rain this model is showing. And as you can see, even less. This model showing maybe 1/4 of an inch, where some of the where the NAM was showing maybe as much as an inch of rain, and even less rain in the areas around the park fire, where the burn scar is from the park fire. So the bottom line is that yes, it is going to get cooler. Today, this afternoon, it's getting a bit breezy. Yeah, you're going to notice that southwesterly wind this afternoon. And on the east side of the valley, areas like Folsom and Roseville and Rockland and Lincoln, it's going to get windy this afternoon. Yeah, if you're in Lincoln, you may want to, take down your patio umbrella if you get a strong southerly wind at your property. You may, it may be rather gusty this afternoon. And then in terms of the rain, we won't see rain in Sacramento, won't see rain in Grass Valley. We'll see rain in Redding. May see some rain in Quincy, but it'll be on the light side, and then we'll see some rain up toward Shasta. And again, the bottom line today is if you see a clickbait headline, know that it's clickbait and don't click it because that's what they want. Yeah, try to stay to reliable sources. And I'll try not to make a clickbaity headline for this video this morning. That's everything I've got for you today. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.